many of you watching this video are feeling stuck. You have these ambitious goals and dreams for your personal life and your work, but you just can't seem to move forward. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get unstuck and win back control over your life using the role reversal technique. Real quick, let me tell you the first reason why you might be stuck. So most people think it's because they lack knowledge or they lack motivation. Well, this is wrong. The reason most people feel stuck is because they are playing the wrong part in their life. Now, how can you change that and get unstuck? Here is where the role reversal technique comes in. The role reversal technique is what helped me get unstuck in one of the darkest moments of my life. It not only helped me get out of a very bad depression, but it set me on my way to become a 4-time best-selling author and the #1 motivational speaker in Europe this year. You see, most of us are defined by a fixed set of roles. So we say, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a wife, I'm a photographer, I'm a designer, I'm a mother. But the most interesting part is the negative roles we are defined by without even noticing. So things like, I'm not good with money, I'm not disciplined, I am lazy, I'm not good with time, I'm not organized enough, I don't have a business mind, I don't handle uncertainty well. The moment you say any of those things and you deeply believe that, it becomes a role. And guess what your subconscious mind does with that? It takes it as a command. Oh, we're not good with money? All right, let's go and overspend today. So now you have proof that you're not good with money. Oh, we're not disciplined? All right, let me break the promise to work out. Now you have proof that you're not disciplined. Sounds awful, right? I know. But this is actually good news, believe it or not, because you can reverse your role very, very fast. And I've seen this work not only in my life, but in the lives of hundreds of thousands of people who have gone through my trainings. The strategies I will show you next are focused on reversing the roles you're playing to something that will actually help you feel good about yourself and accomplish your dreams, starting with using the power of visualization. Now, I know what you're thinking, and before you start rolling your eyes and saying, oh my gosh, here she comes with all this woo-woo stuff, here's a disclaimer. First off, I feel you. I used to roll my eyes too until I had undeniable proof, and not from all the books and the research about visualization, but from my own life. You see, visualization saved me when I was on the verge of despair, when I could find no meaning in my life. But it wasn't just any kind of visualization. It was a very special one. So let me show you how to do it, because it radically changed my life. Many, many years ago, I graduated as the top student in 2 universities at the same time. So within 4 days, I got 2 honors diplomas for best student. And on day number 5, my world collapsed. Because I realized that even though I loved studying, I felt no passion whatsoever for the careers that I chose. And so I wondered, who am I now that the studying part is over? I started feeling like a fraud. I started feeling empty. I went from being the top student in the class with a very strong leadership skills to not being able to leave the house for 1 full year. All I wore was pajamas, and not the cute kind of pajamas, no, the gray, oversized, depressing kind, you know. I had no idea what to do with my life. And I remember looking around, and everyone I knew seemed to have it all figured out. And it made me feel even worse, you know. I felt like crap. I had no idea what to do with my life. And on most days, I would not leave the bed, you know. And when I did manage to leave the bed, it was to light up a cigarette 20 times a day. My hair started falling off, my self-esteem started falling off, and nothing seemed to get better. One day, my mother came to see me and she said, Florencia, okay, I get it. You feel like crap. The question is, do you want to feel different? And I said, well, yeah, of course I want to feel different, but I have no idea what to do. You know, I have tried everything. Nothing seems to work. And so she pulled out an orange notebook and told me, this is what I want you to do. I want you to write a letter to yourself as if 1 year had already gone by. And we're going to call this the letter from the future, because you will stand like it's 1 year from today, and you will write this letter congratulating yourself for everything that you have done this year. I want you to go into details. I want you to think about how you're feeling in your body. I want you to think about how you're feeling in your relationships. I want you to ask yourself, how is your professional life looking? What are you wearing? And it was really hard for me to write that letter because I was a very low point, but I did it. And then my mom said, I want you to reread this letter every single night before you go to bed. And honestly, some nights it felt like I was reading fiction. Other nights I felt like I was reading this cheesy novel. But I kept going, I kept reading, and things started to change. I stopped smoking. I started exercising. I started seeing people. I got a job. I got married. My life in 1 year had completely turned around, and so I got passionate about this tool. Visualizing made me change the role I was playing from depressed to energized. And this is why I have taught this technique to some of the best athletes in the world and to some of the most accomplished entrepreneurs when one day we're also lost and confused. And all I can say is that I have seen miracles happen in their lives. And that's why I'm teaching this to you right now, because you might also be feeling confused or frustrated or stuck. But if you use this technique, I know you will see the change. So how do you do this? Easy. You close your eyes, you visualize your life exactly as you want it to be 1 year from today, and then you write a letter to yourself. And you congratulate yourself for everything you have accomplished. And then you do what? You reread this every night. So dedicate 5 minutes a day to visualizing your life exactly as you want it to be. Step into that reality in your mind. Remember, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. It all starts here. Of course, you will still need to take action on what you want to achieve, but this is the vital first step. How can you feel inspired when you're completely stuck, you might wonder? Maybe you want inspiration as what your next business should be, or maybe you need inspiration to design a product or to write a book, to start a podcast. But the more you try to get creative, the more stuck you feel. And the classic, you need to think outside the box advice just makes you mad. Because cool, how the heck do I think outside the box when I am trapped inside the box? I remember when I was writing my second book, I was stuck as I had never been before. It was sort of like a writer's block meets imposter syndrome on steroids. My first book had become a massive bestseller, and now my publishing house was betting hard on me, and I had so much pressure that I could not write a single word. So every single morning, I would wake up and say, today is the day that I start writing this book. So I would sit in front of my computer, breathe in, and freeze. And I would try everything to get unstuck. I would try things like going for a run to see if my creative juices would start to flow, and all I got was a bad, sweaty hair day. I would try and meditate, try to calm down myself and see if I could find some inspiration. Nothing. I would try brainstorming ideas with my mom. We were writing this book together, and all the ideas were crap. But then one day, I did something that sparked my creativity within minutes. And the crazy thing is, I did not do this intentionally. You know what I did? I went to a tango lesson. I'm serious. Tango. I sucked at it, but the moment I came back, I took my tango shoes off and I almost slammed my computer open and I typed 63 pages of my book in one sitting. Where am I going with this? Many times the reason we're stuck is because we do the same stuff every single day. So we listen to the same people and we go to the same places and we eat the same food. And sometimes being stuck is a signal from your brain saying, hey, I need something new. Give me something new or I won't give you something new, So if you feel stuck in life, the quickest way to get unstuck is to stop drinking from the same fountain all the time. Seek inspiration beyond the usual and see how your ideas will flow better, naturally. Now, if you're feeling like, okay, now how do I do this? I'm unsure how to find this unconventional inspiration. Start with small steps, like reading books from different genres or attending events outside your industry or join creative workshops or take a tango lesson. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just about mixing it up a bit, okay? So give your brain a dose of unexpected stimuli because it will pay you back with inspiration and ideas that will help you get unstuck once and for all. Do you want to know what is the fastest way to get unstuck? Stop being scared of making mistakes. But this is hard. It's very hard. Why? Because we were taught that mistakes are bad. And who taught us this? the educational system. Just picture yourself at 8 years old. Your teacher tells you to write a poem. So you write your poem and you feel really proud because this is your first poem. And so you hand it to your teacher and 2 days later, you get it back. And all you see is marks everywhere, pointing out every mistake. And in what color? Red. Why? Because the teacher doesn't want you to miss any of the mistakes you made, right? So the next time you have to write, are you more confident or less? Less. Are you more scared of making mistakes? 100%. And now imagine this extending over every day of your life for 10 years in a row. We are trained to avoid mistakes, but going for our dreams requires us to tolerate our own mistakes. Not only that, but to analyze them, to learn from them, and to use them to push us forward. And that's why you need to train yourself to become masterful at making mistakes. Every successful entrepreneur today, everyone you admire, Elon Musk, Sarah Blakely, Alex Hormozi, you name them, has become a master of mistakes. And you might be thinking, all right, I got it. Now, how do I move past my fear of failing and really make my mistakes a stepping stone to push me forward? Okay, here's a simple technique that I love. And it's so simple that I teach this to my own children. They are 10 and 8 and they love it. Yet it is so powerful that I use it when I coach entrepreneurs and business owners. I call it the wild technique. It works like this. So the moment you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, you stop and immediately say, okay, that sucked. Now what? Now go wild. Wild stands for what I learned. And the D is for discoveries. So let's say your kid is angry because he failed a test. You can have him do the wild technique. What I learned, discoveries. So you have him or her come up with a list of things he discovered thanks to making this mistake. So this will help your kid reframe their failure. Some of the best business owners that I coach love this technique. Why? Because it shifts your focus from how can I be so stupid? Like, how can I be so stupid and make that mistake? To, hey, what did I discover from this? And you know what? Going from being scared about making mistakes to using them as your big tipping points will grant you wild success. So it might seem silly, I know, and the name might seem childish, but you know what? I couldn't care less. Because mistakes are not just another part of the learning curve. They are the ladder to success. Now, this next piece of advice might shock you because instead of upgrading the role you play in life, we're gonna be downgrading it. Do you know the real reason most of us don't go for our dreams? It's because we're afraid of being seen as beginners. We're afraid to being seen by others starting small. And I have felt this myself. For over 10 years, I thought about starting a company for the English-speaking market. But I came up with a million excuses to avoid taking that leap. I'm too busy. I'm already doing okay in the Spanish-speaking world. What's the need? Why if I invest a lot of time and I fail? There's too much competition out there. But then I realized this was all BS. I was just afraid to be seen as a beginner. I had already built a strong name in the Spanish-speaking market. I had written 4 best-selling books and filled stadiums with people coming to my talks. I was on national TV, had 1 million whatever followers on social media. So the idea of starting from scratch in a new language and a new market and be seen by others with 0 followers on social media and 0 subscribers on YouTube and 0 books and no products and no speaking tour was terrifying. Because what if I went for my dream and failed? And so I was stuck in my head in an endless loop of, I really want to give this a try. Yeah, but what if? Has this ever happened to you? This endless tug of war inside your head where one side goes, go, 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 and the other side goes, no, no, no. The only way to stop that endless cycle is to make a choice. You need to decide to go from playing not to lose to playing to win. And even though playing to win sounds really cool, in reality, playing not to lose is what most of us do. Why? Because it feels safe. This is what playing not to lose looks like. You don't do new things, so you don't risk failing, so you don't risk being seen by others failing, so you feel safe. The only problem is you don't grow. And then you say, I feel so stuck. Well, the only way to get unstuck is to decide to play to win, and it looks like this. You do new things, you risk failing. Is it really failing if you learn? You take what you learn and try again. You might succeed, you might fail again, who knows, but you grow. So after years of battling in my own head whether I should or should not take the leap, I finally made the choice to play to win, to take the risk. And I'm not going to say I did this because I'm super courageous. I did it because I was sick and tired of feeling stuck in my own head. So I said, okay, let's do this. Well, 1 year after I made that bold decision, I was ranked the #1 female speaker in Europe in a language that was not even my native tongue, in a market where nobody knew my name. And in 12 months, I had also put together a team and I had a profitable online business. Yet, there's one thing I regret. You know what that is? Why did I wait so long? I should have done this earlier. So whatever it is that you've been thinking about starting, put your beginner's hat on and get started. Do not worry about looking small, because your future self will thank you for starting today. And before we move to our last tool, I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you share it with your friends. This way you will help me impact more people with the tools that they need to succeed. And because I'm creating so many more videos to help you go from where you are to where you want to be, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so YouTube lets you know when there's something new from me. Here's to tip number 5. This might trigger you and you might not like what I will say next, but I see this as one of the most important changes to make if you're feeling stuck. Warning, this might trigger you and you might not like what I will say next, but I see this as one of the most important changes to make if you're feeling stuck. We are the result of the conversations we have. If our conversations with friends, with family, with coworkers are scarcity-based, we will live in the paradigm of scarcity. There's never enough money, there's never enough good luck, there's never enough opportunity, there's never enough time. Now here's the thing. We are so used to our level of conversations that we never analyze them, So we are defined by them without even noticing. And I'm not saying you have to kiss all your friends goodbye and get a divorce and quit your job. No, I'm only suggesting it's time for a conversation audit. So start paying close attention to your conversations. What are the topics of discussion? What are the general emotions? How do those conversations make you feel? Are you empowered or are you limited by them? And if your answer is, you know what, I'm not really empowered and I don't feel more confident or happier or more energized after I have them, then you need to upgrade your conversations. And here's what you can do. Number 1, you can be the tone setter. So, you can be the weird one in the group who says, hey, tell me what your next big dream is. And yeah, you will feel kind of weird at the beginning if the normal topic is complaining about the government, but trust me, with time, it gets easier. Number 2, you can just walk away from toxic conversations. That's an easy way to avoid conversations, that limit you or are simply about, criticizing and blaming and complaining. So think of this as quitting smoking or any other toxic thing. So for example, smoking is bad for you, but for some reason you like it and it's addictive. But then one day you say, I'm done with this crap. I'm not doing this anymore. Well, what do you do if you're in a room where everyone is lighting up a cigarette? You walk away. So do the same when the room gets lighted up, criticizing someone or simply being negative. Number 3, spend intentional time with people who elevate your talk game. So if you look around your life right now and you can't find those people who really up-level your mindset, who make you feel that you can achieve anything, then go and look for that crowd. It could be in person, it could be online. I promise you that if you really look, you will find them. And once you do, getting unstuck in life will become much, much easier. Now, the tips I gave you here will help you get unstuck in life because feeling stuck is a mindset problem. But mindset is a much broader topic than what I can tackle in this video. Getting your mindset 100% right is the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and having an abundant income stream. After all, mindset was the #1 thing that allowed me to build 2 successful businesses and completely turn my life around. So if you're serious about succeeding, I recommend that you watch this next video and learn the mindset secrets that all high performers use to achieve everything they've ever dreamed of. Go check it out.